So recently, I decided to make a mindfulness practice out of going off on people. So, and I read some studies about, suppression of anger and how it causes physical and mental health issues, and how it's particularly prevalent in women. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I've taken my yogic practices of mindfulness and staying calm and managing my anger. Maybe I have overused them, and maybe it's time for me to start revisiting how I can be angry in a healthy way in my own body. So, because I'm a Virgo, I decided that I wanted to sit down and think about what that would look like. And it made me think about fire. So, like, I was at a bonfire and it wasn't built properly. And you're supposed to put like stone or some type of barrier that keeps the fire from just catching and going wild. But they built the barrier for the fire out of wood, which is flammable, right? So a bunch of people were trying to manage the fire, wet the ground around it, get sand, get whatever they could to like stop the fire from spreading. And it made me think about like how I could use that to guide me in using my own fire. Because although I do want to have a fire, I don't want to burn people who didn't get too close to the fire. I don't want my fire to rage, get out of control, and burn people who I never meant to harm. So it makes me think about how do I contain my anger, or how I contain my fire in a way that is healthy for me, but also those who didn't get too close to it, right? Who didn't deserve it, who didn't earn it. And I thought about like how I think a couple things are important. One, establishing beforehand what do you deem to be worthy of your fury and fire, like harm to children, harm to yourself, harm to the environment. What do you deem as something worth getting a little crazy for? I also like think about how in fire safety they tell you to make sure that you have water, make sure you have a shovel, make sure you have tools around so that when it's time to put the fire out, you're prepared to do so. And I think that's important for me to have like a care plan for myself. Like after I blow up, after I go off, how am I going to suffocate that fire so that it doesn't get out of control? And I think that's where my mindfulness practices will come back into usefulness, like with my breathing techniques or drinking water